everyone, today I'm at the town hall and I'm going to have a meeting with the mayor about my CD and I'm going to ask him some questions. Let's go! Hi everyone, today I'm here with the mayor of Ipswich, Roger, and today I'm going to ask some questions.
Good, I look forward to them.
Yeah. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, how do you become mayor?
Well, first of all, you have to be a councillor, and I'm a borough councillor in Ipswich for a ward. Ipswich is divided into 16 bits, and the bit I represent is in southwest Ipswich called Sprites Ward. And there are 3 councillors in each ward, so there are 48 of us altogether. And round about February time each year, the 2 main groups who make up the borough council look around and say, right, who should we have as mayor then? And somebody says, well, I'll nominate him, and somebody else says, well, I'll nominate her, and so on. And it's like any other election. Once you're a councillor, you then are in a position to become the mayor. And February last year, 2016, my colleagues were kind enough to say, right, we think Roger Fern should be the next mayor.
Second question is, how much do your chains weigh?
About half a kilogram altogether. So it's about the same as a small bag of sugar.
Wow, that was unexpected.
No, they're not that heavy when you first put them on, but if you've had them on all day, and I think it was probably Friday, I had them on all day and I started to stoop.
Yeah. I got another question. Do you live at the town hall?
No, I don't. We use the town hall, and we're in the mayoress's parlour at the moment, and we've got the mayor's parlour. But there's no sleeping accommodation, although sometimes I feel as if I ought to bring a camp bed. No, I live at home in a quite ordinary house with my wife.
Yeah. Number 4. How long are you mayor for?
Just for a year. I became mayor on May the 18th last year, and I shall be mayor until May the 17th, 2017.
Okay. What's the most memorable event you've ever attended to and why?
Meeting you. And then after that, probably the 100th anniversary of the Battle of Arras in northern France. Arras is one of our twin towns,
yeah.
And they're also twinned with Herten in Germany in the Ruhr Valley, and Oudenaarde in Belgium, quite near to Ghent. And all 3 mayors were there with the mayor of Arras, Frederick Le Turc, for the 100th anniversary, and it was a very memorable event.
How old do you have to be mayor?
You have to be 18 to be elected as a councillor, so anything beyond 18. Next year's mayor is probably half my age, and last year's mayor actually was probably a little over half my age.
Hear this, Mum? What will you do after you've stopped being mayor?
Well, I shall be deputy mayor for the next 12 months after May the 17th, but I'm also very keen to play golf, which I aim to do a little more of. I think I've played 3 times in the last 12 months. But I'm also a school governor and a college governor, so I shall continue to do that. And I shall still be a councillor, of course. So there's all the work that goes with being a borough councillor.
How many cups of tea do you drink a day?
Oh, goodness knows. There are some times when I go home and instead of being waterlogged, I feel tea-logged. And there are other days when, for one reason or another, you hardly get anything to eat or drink. But that doesn't happen very often. Most people are very generous in their hospitality.
I do a lot of dancing to keep fit. What exercise do you do?
Well, I don't do enough exercise. I think that's the problem, and I probably eat too much as well. But people, as I've said, are always very generous with their hospitality, and one doesn't like to look ungrateful. My daughters and grandchildren say, of course, well, you don't have to eat it. You can decline, but anyway, I'm afraid I'm too easily tempted by food. But I have joined the gym. I belong to the Profiles gym on the waterfront in Ipswich. And I try and walk and cycle. So after May the 17th, who knows, I might get in more exercise and perhaps lose a little weight.
Last question. If you could interview a famous person, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
That's a really good question. I think probably Thomas Clarkson, who was one of the great campaigners at the end of the 1700s and the early 1800s to abolish slavery. The slave trade in the first place, he persuaded William Wilberforce, who was an MP who he'd met, to present the evidence to Parliament, and eventually it became a bill and then an Act of Parliament in 1807, which abolished the slave trade in the British Empire, and then he worked tirelessly for the next 30 years, and eventually slavery was outlawed or made illegal in the British Empire. He lived just outside Ipswich at a village called Playford, and we've got his picture in the mayor's parlour. And I think he was a remarkable character. Most people have heard of William Wilberforce, and he was undoubtedly a very effective social reformer. But it was Thomas Clarkson and his brother John, who's actually buried in St Mary's Churchyard in Woodbridge, with others, who did the bulk of the work.
Wow, that's really interesting. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. It's nice to meet you again.
Bye, everyone.